so first of all, we got here with us Adlib from Philadelphia. Give him a round of applause, everybody. All right, so again, Adlib's coming from Philadelphia. I just want to get into a little bit of the fact that from the United States to the Canadian side of things. First, how do you see the scene different from America to Canada, if there is any difference?
Yeah, there's not too much difference. North America, man, it's North America. I love Canada. I love the North.
Okay.
You know, so I love coming out here. I love, man, you got to show a lot of love, man. Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto are some of my favorite cities in the whole world, you know?
All right, Montreal is a big party town still, especially
I
New
love
Year's.
Montreal,
you
man.
got to hit their New Year's, bro. So again, I mean, this guy's worked with a lot of people. He's collaborated and toured with Reef the Lost Cause, Tech 9, UG of Cellar Dwellers. He's recently doing the Hip Hop for Tots tour with Mercy Gang down in the States and Suspect and Marmel here in Ontario. Can you speak a little bit on that Hip Hop for Tots concept? I know you've been doing it for 8 years now. It's your first time here in Ontario, but can you speak a little bit how that concept came up and who they are and why you chose that charity?
Yeah, I've been doing Hip Hop for Tots in Philadelphia for many years. We do it for the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And this past year, last year we did 3 shows instead of just doing 1 because it was so successful. So this year, being that I'm so involved with Battle Axe, I felt it would be important to try to bring this outside of just Philadelphia. So we did New York, we did Staten Island, we did Chicago, we did Milwaukee, and then we came up here to Ontario to do 5-6 shows with you guys. So I appreciate everybody, and yeah, it's a great cause, man. At the end of the day, you know, you can go spend $5 on a toy and give it to a kid who isn't going to get anything, and that toy is everything for them, you know. So I just feel it's important to give back always, you know.
Big up on that. Give him a round of applause on that one. Now you actually spoke a little bit about it since you've joined Battle Axe yourself and you rose up the ranks. Can you speak a little bit on your climb to become a top tier member and how you recruited and on how you shed the brand down in Philadelphia, New Jersey, New York, in that area there?
Yeah, absolutely. I met Mad Child. I was working on my album Bad Intentions, and we did a song called Worldwide Inc., and we became friends. We started talking on the phone on a constant basis. I came out to Toronto. I did a couple shows with him, and you know, he just approached me with Battle Axe Warriors. He told me the concept and what it's all about. I was 110% down. I think it's something that's never been done before. I think it's an amazing way to network with people, and it's a positive movement. A lot of us have come from different kind of clubs and different kinds of things that may not be as positive of what this is about. So I was 110% down, and the way that I went about things is in the Philadelphia area, I just started reaching out to the top guys that I knew, the top MCs, the top producers, mixed martial artists. I know a lot of guys who cage fight. I know a lot of guys who are into extreme sports. I know a lot of people in the tattoo culture. So I reached out to all of them, got those guys involved, and then started getting the people that were involved with them involved. You know. So now we have I think almost 200 members in Philadelphia now. So.
Shit, that's probably one of the biggest divisions right there. Shout out to Philly set. All right, so moving on a little bit more about like your past history on your music history. I know you're a member of Ill Rock Records. Can you speak on how that came about and how that concept works?
Yeah, absolutely. Danny Diablo is one of my very close friends. He's one of the realest dudes in the game, period. I've toured the world with him several times, and that's my homeboy, man. So no matter what, I always rock with Ill Rock. You always see the Ill Rock logo on everything I do, no matter what label I'm with or who I'm working with. I always support them guys because those guys have always supported me. And, you know, I love them brothers, man.
All right. Shout out Ill Rock, too. There's another rapper from Toronto, Swan, that's on them, too. There's some real good guys. And also on a label kind of distribution, you work a lot with Chamber Music, which has a distribution deal with Universal Music. With some other Canadian guys like KDB, The Winged Messenger, as well as Unknown Misery and KDB, Babylon War Child, but also some pretty big names like Solomon Childs and the Woo Killer Bees and Christ Bearer and Capadonna, even some of Raekwon's albums are distributed through there. Can you speak on like how that family relationship works and how you correspond with them?
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, I wasn't even really working on an album. I was just trying to be around the music, the creative process. So I was hitting the studio every week, just doing music. My homeboy from Jack 9 Films hit me up, told me that these guys had a deal with Universal. They had just put out Capadonna's last album. They put out Shot Stimuli's album, some stuff with Raekwon. So I thought it would be a great opportunity. I took a meeting with them. They were good guys, man. They were solid. You know, and I'm happy with the record, man. I was able to, you know, get it in the chain stores. We were able to get Best Buy and HMV and, you know, FYE in the States and stuff like that. So it was a good look for me to do, and I'm very proud of the album. I'm very
well, you should be, because it's a real hot album. And again, you can go pick up that Adlib Bad News album, like you said, at the Best Buy. Where else? Sorry?
At the merch booth.
Yes, at the merch booth right now.
Get it at the merch booth.
Right.
If you got to go to FYE, steal it.
All right, and just moving on to the last couple questions. Again, I want to speak a little bit about the album because there's some pretty serious bangers off the album, and some of my personal favorites, New Era, the first track, the first offering, really sucks you right into the album. Can you speak a little bit on that concept real quick?
Yeah, New Era, I wrote New Era, literally, I was on mushrooms at the Grand Canyon at like 5 o'clock in the morning. We had snuck into the Grand Canyon. We were on our way to Cali. And the hotel was booked, so we snuck into the Grand Canyon, and we were eating mushrooms and shit, and I wrote that sitting on a cliff at the tip of the Grand Canyon. So it felt like a good intro for the album.
Big up to those mushrooms then. And then moving on to the fourth offering from the album, which is kind of turned out to a Battle Axe Warrior anthem for a lot of Battle Axe Warriors out there. We're talking about the W Axes Up song. Can you speak about the concept that came behind that? I know you wanted to do one for them, but what was the solid reason you wanted to?
Yo, my brother Born Unique, shout out Born Unique from Virginia. He came up with that mantra, Axes Up. He's the first guy that was saying that to me. And I just like the way it sounded, man, so I just ran with Axes Up, you know? And now I see dudes across the globe hollering Axes Up, so it feels good, man.
Yeah, it's a term that's really stuck. It's a term that's stuck. And I guess lastly, again, my absolute favorite track, I don't know if it's because it's filmed at a bar that I'm familiar with, but Lawless featuring Mad Child. That video's all over the internet right now. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. That's Lawless featuring Mad Child and Adlib. Can you speak on the concept of that video and where it was filmed? And again, you got a lot of fans in that film as well as artists in that video. Can you just speak on how that came out and that song?
Yeah, we were on the Lawnmower Man tour, and we were getting towards the end of the tour. We were about to come into Toronto, and my homeboys from Real Wolf, shout out Real Wolf in Toronto, they hit me up, asked me if I wanted to do a video while I was in Toronto. Okay. So I figured, fuck it, man, let's, I hollered at Mad. He was down, so that was, the rest is history. We did it at the Rock Pile. Big shout out to Steve at the Rock Pile and all the staff from the Rock Pile, man. Those guys are family. And, yeah, man, it's always, that place is always a blast, Rock Pile is always a good show.
Yeah, it's one of the best venues in Toronto, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So, again, I know you're not Canadian, but you've done a lot of work here in Ontario and bringing not only myself, but a lot of other people's on. So I personally want to thank you. Not only on behalf of us, but also CameUp Canadian, Suspect Entertainment. We all want to thank you. Marmel Entertainment from Suspect. We all want to thank you for the groundbreaking work that you're doing here in Ontario of bringing a little bit more organization as well as charity work to our community. So I thank you, and Adlib has officially CameUp Canadian.
Peace, y'all. Thank you very much for having me tonight, guys. We're going to have a good time tonight. We're going to get
fucked
up.